What are the key components to an ideal injury recovery? Anytime you get injured, you want to be asking yourself these questions because injuries are serious. If we're having physical limitations, we're losing aspects of our physical expression. And if we don't deal with this appropriately, they accumulate throughout our life, and then we get more and more restricted as we age. And then we get really detrimental and can't do a lot as we're older, and nobody wants that. And so we want to create a plan and define our ideal outcome. Our default in society is I just want the pain to go away. And that's a super low bar that you want to move past. Because if that's true, you could just take some pain meds or get some injections and you'll feel better. But you're going to deal with that lost function for the rest of your life, and you're going to accumulate lots of injuries along the way. And then again, you're going to be really restricted as you age. And so you want to define like, hey, I want to figure out what caused this. I want to get stronger so I can resist it. I want to correct the mechanics. I want to come back stronger and better than I was before so this doesn't happen again. You want to figure out what caused it. Was this a traumatic event that you should have been able to withstand? Is this a regular everyday occurrence that hurt you? Should you have been able to have the resistance in your body to resist that force and not get injured? And if that's the case, you want to build up a more solid foundation in that area of your body so you don't get injured again in the future. Was this a building injury? Was this kind of poor biomechanics in the shoulder or the neck or the low back that you just kept doing over and over and over again that led to eventual breakdown of the tissue? We want to correct that movement pattern and restore normal. Common people have postural kind of abnormalities and shifts that cause unequal weight bearing and asymmetric forces, and that leads to breakdown. And so in our office, we want to correct asymmetry and return to ideal posture and return to normal motion patterns as often as we can so that we can avoid those injuries in the future. There are going to be certain things that we just have to avoid. When we have a low back injury, we can't be bending at that injured segment because commonly that's just going to be re-irritating that injury. So you want to be kind of relatively braced and neutral in that position and not avoid too much flexion and avoid a lot of flexion in that area. If it's in the neck, we can't be just looking down all the time. And then for other areas of the body, there's a certain like movement patterns that are kind of irritating. And if you're continuing to do those patterns into those joints and injuries, it's going to really slow the healing response. And so you just want to figure out what those movement patterns are and then avoid them as necessary. And then you want to give yourself adequate rest. Not only do you need to do your everyday activities, you need to have the energy and resources for your body to heal these damaged areas. And if you're just go, 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 and just full blast on your regular life, you don't have the resources you need to allow the body to heal energy-wise or actually chemical building blocks, okay? We want to be dealing with pain as fast as possible. And normally in our care plan, we're restoring the function and doing lots of things that pain just naturally gets less and less. But say this is a chronic pain or a really serious case and pain is starting to linger longer than 90 days, we want to be doing and considering some things to help mitigate that pain response because that in and of itself needs its own special care. And chiropractic is great at reprogramming the brain so that we can diminish that pain response. Because when pain becomes chronic, we just get overly sensitized to pain and we have to desensitize that body so we're just not feeling pain all the time. And that's a special thing that we can talk about in our office if that's affecting you, okay? Structural components. Every joint or every injury, when it gets injured, there's structural components. And so our care, the adjustments, we're returning to normal position. We're doing decompression to kind of flush the area and pull in fresh nutrition. We're teaching you exercises. We're restoring natural posture. All these things are addressing the structural components. On your end, you want to be dealing with nutritional components as well to make sure you're giving yourself the actual building blocks you need to rebuild that injury, okay? Nerve components. Anytime there's injury to a joint, you not only damage the physical structures, you damage the perception or nerves within that joint. And so your brain can't control where that joint is as well as it could before. And so as part of our process, we're going to be giving you movement patterns to rebuild balance and coordination in that area of your body so that you don't have this kind of this lack of awareness that will cause delayed responses or failure to respond to certain situations where you'll get injured again. Okay, so with our care plans, we're going to be adjusting the downstream joint and the area of the spine to just really rebuild that pathway from your brain to your body so that joint can fully communicate with the brain to tell it where it is in space, and so the brain can tell it how to respond as needed appropriately. And confidence. We want to be building kind of the challenge into that area so that you can actually get confident in that area of your body again. Because pain, kind of what we're talking about, is sometimes emotional as it is structural. And so if we have a very low confidence in that area of our body's going to perceive potential tissue damage in a lot of regular things. And so it's going to trigger a pain response in our brain so that we back off from that activity. When we are building confidence with increasing challenges and kind of motion patterns in that area of the body, we get confident again. And when we have confidence in that area of the body, our pain levels will naturally go down. And so we want to be doing all of these things in a really thorough approach. And so if you have any questions about your injury or how we can better help you, just give us a call or a text. We'd love to give you a consult to kind of show you how much we can help you get better in the future. Look forward to serving you then. Bye for now.